Wait, don't scroll. Something shifted in the realm of heaven the moment you opened this. You didn't even notice. But when your eyes landed here, an angel whispered, "Finally, they're here." God has been trying to reach you for a while now. You always feel it, don't you? That strange pull in your spirit, that gentle tap on your heart. This time, it's different. Archangel Michael has been waiting, exactly 45 minutes, to tell you what's about to happen. But listen, if you ignore this again, if you close it like before, something very important might vanish, without warning. You think skipping this is harmless. Yet, what if I told you heaven paused time for you, so this message could land right where you're sitting? A lot of people ignore these signs. But you were chosen to see this exact message. Not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine timing. Because something is coming into your life that nobody told you about. Michael says it's closer than you think. Let me ask you, do you know how many nights God watched you cry and didn't say a word because he was waiting for this moment? You ask for signs, but when they come, you rush past them. Please, don't hurt God by skipping this again. Don't break his heart today. He's been preparing something for you. Something unexpected, something divine. But it all depends on what you choose to do in the next few minutes. Michael says, "Beloved, I've seen your soul ache. I know you're tired, but you don't realize how close you are to the change you begged heaven for. There's a reason this found you today. Maybe your heart has felt strange lately, like something's coming. Maybe you couldn't sleep last night because your spirit already knew. This is that moment, the thing you've been sensing. It's not your imagination. It's real, and it's happening faster than you think. If you feel chills while reading this, that's not the wind. That's heaven confirming. This is for you. And if your spirit feels like crying, it's because your soul just remembered something it forgot. God is whispering to you right now. Can you hear it? No? That's okay. Michael is here to translate. He says, "Your name was written in a golden book 45 minutes ago. A decision was made about you, and you weren't even aware. That's why this message couldn't wait. That's why God pushed it into your life. Because what's about to happen will shift your future in a way you never expected. You may not know this, but someone from your past, yes, that one, is thinking about you right now. They don't know why, but their spirit is restless. Heaven is tugging on their heart, because something between you two was left unfinished." Michael says, "You weren't supposed to see each other again until this moment was ready, and now it is." Pause for a second. Breathe. Look around you. Does something feel off? Like the air has changed, just a little? That's not just a feeling. That's spiritual tension. Angels are surrounding you right now. One is even standing behind your left shoulder. Don't turn. Just know they are guarding you. Tonight, a shift will begin. Before you continue, take a moment to subscribe or follow, because Archangel Michael has more to say. This isn't the only message. Missing the next one could mean missing a miracle, a love letter from heaven. You weren't supposed to skip this. That's why your screen didn't lag this time. That's why you didn't get distracted. Heaven made sure your focus locked in. Don't betray that divine alignment. Something is about to knock on the door of your life, spiritually, emotionally, even physically. And if you're not watching, you'll miss it. Michael says, "A courier from heaven is coming. You don't see them, but they've already left." I know this sounds intense, but have you wondered why you've been so restless lately? Why you feel that strange mixture of fear and excitement, like something big is coming, but you can't explain it? That's spiritual awakening. Michael says, you're no longer who you were. You're evolving fast. That's why people have been walking away. That's why emotions feel heavy. Your new season is here. God is not angry at you. He is sad. Sad because you keep skipping the messages meant to heal you. Sad because you say you want change but run from the change makers. Sad because he's trying to open a door while your hands still cling to a lock that no longer works. This message is your divine key. Let go now, and you'll walk into a room filled with answers. Hear this. Michael says something will happen in the next 7 days that will feel like a storm, unexpected, fast, confusing. But it's not an attack. It's a reset, a divine intervention, a door closing so loudly it shakes your life because something more powerful waits behind another door, one you forgot even existed. You're not crazy for feeling watched. You're not losing it for hearing whispers at night or dreaming of the same person over and over. Those aren't coincidences. That's your spiritual radar activating. Archangel Michael says, their soul has called your name in sleep. If you've been waking between 3 and 4 a.m., now you know why. Listen carefully. Someone is about to message you or call you. They will say something ordinary, but behind their words is a hidden truth, a confession that changes everything. Be ready. If you shut down too quickly, you'll miss the real message. Heaven has been rearranging the timeline of your life to give you another shot. You weren't meant to receive this opportunity again, but Michael begged God, and God said yes, yes, again. But only if you respond. Only if you open your spirit and let this message reach your heart. Not just your screen. There is someone in heaven who keeps mentioning your name, over and over. A relative, a soul you loved deeply. They are watching, and they helped this message get to you. That's why it feels familiar. That's why your chest feels heavy right now. It's not sadness, it's a spiritual reunion. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. And now, it's time. Breathe slowly, because what comes next will reach deeper into your soul than anything you've read this year. Let Archangel Michael guide this moment. He's standing beside you, not in fantasy, but in unseen truth. His wings are spread around your energy, and he's whispering to your spirit. They don't realize they're standing at the edge of a miracle. Yes, a miracle. Not just any miracle, but one delayed for years because you weren't ready before. Something shifted recently. A few days ago, maybe you felt different, more emotional, more sensitive, more aware. That wasn't random. That was your spiritual eyes opening. You weren't supposed to see this message until that part of you had awakened. Heaven rearranged your timeline to give you another shot. Michael begged, God said yes, again. But remember, only if you respond. Only if you open your spirit and let this reach your heart. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. And now, it's time. Thank you. Now, breathe, slowly. Let Archangel Michael guide this moment. He's standing beside you, not in fantasy, but in unseen truth. His wings are spread around your energy, and he's whispering to your spirit. They don't realize they're standing at the edge of a miracle. Yes, a miracle. Not just any miracle, but one delayed for years, because you were never ready before. But something shifted recently. A few days ago, maybe you felt different, more emotional, more sensitive, more aware. That's not random. That was your spiritual eyes opening. You weren't supposed to see this message until that part of you had awakened. Archangel Michael says, Beloved, what if I told you that something you cried for last year is finally about to show up? But it's wearing a disguise. That's why this moment matters. What's arriving won't look like a blessing at first. In fact, you may be tempted to reject it. But don't dismiss it too fast. Have you ever been so close to something good and then it fell apart? That wasn't failure, that was spiritual protection. You weren't rejected, you were rerouted. If that thing had stayed, it would have destroyed your glow, and God never wanted to lose the real you. That's why people walked away. That's why doors slammed in your face. Heaven knew you were meant for something greater than you were settling for. Right now, the angels are silent, yet alert. Your spirit is listening differently. Today you're open. That's rare. That's powerful. When your spirit listens instead of your ego, God speaks the loudest. Michael is trying to tell you something very few will ever hear. The storm you're in is not to break you. It's to awaken you because something has been hidden from you for too long. There is someone who has been hiding their feelings, not for days, but for years. They've watched from afar, swallowing their truth, because fear gripped their throat. But the time is coming when heaven will push them to speak. Their words will tremble, their eyes will water, and what they say will shake you. Be ready, be still, be discerning. Everything they've held back is coming. Michael says, this person has dreamed of you more nights than you know. Every time they wake, they want to tell you, but they always stop. That's why you keep feeling them out of nowhere. That's why songs suddenly feel like memories. That's why your chest tightens and you don't know why. Their spirit is searching for yours. Let's talk about money for a moment. God sees your worry. You act brave, you smile, but He knows your hands are shaking behind closed doors. Michael says this with thunder in his voice. Money will no longer rule your peace. Heaven is preparing a shift in your financial life, but not by the path you expect. Something unusual, hidden, quiet is about to appear. A letter, a contract, a person, a phone call. It will look small at first, but that moment will unlock more than you can imagine. You'll look back at this message and say, that was the confirmation. Don't give up. Not now. Not when your name was just mentioned in a divine meeting 45 minutes ago. Yes, your full name. In that meeting, God smiled and said, my child still believes in love. That sentence changed everything. Heaven accelerates miracles for those who still believe. Even if it's only a flicker, you still have that spark. Even if you doubt yourself, even if you feel tired, Michael sees your light, and he's ready to fight for it. Now listen, you are not crazy for talking to the sky when no one is around. You are not crazy for feeling watched when you're alone. You are not crazy for sensing time bending around you. You are evolving. You are being called. The reason your heart feels pulled in two directions is because heaven is separating what's fake from what's real. Yes, some people will leave your life abruptly, but don't beg them to stay. They were part of your preparation, not your destination. Let them go with love. There's a person coming who will love you with such honesty. You'll be scared at first. Scared because you're not used to peace. Michael says this person was shaped for your soul. The connection will feel unreal because it's not of this world. Do not rush. Do not chase. Remain open. Be kind. Be present. Heaven is sending something that doesn't need to be hunted. It will come on its own. If you're still reading, it means you are chosen. Yes, you. Not everyone was meant to find this message. Not everyone has the patience to finish a spiritual message this long. But you did. That means your heart is still soft. That means God can still use you for miracles. Archangel Michael has been waiting for you to reach this exact moment so he can whisper this truth into your soul. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too anything. You are right on time. And here's something else Michael wants you to know. Someone will try to contact you soon, pretending everything is normal, but their energy will feel off. Trust your intuition, because behind their smile is something they're not saying. Don't be afraid, just observe. Heaven will give you the right words at the right time. Now before you go, God is waiting for your response. Not a grand action, not a dramatic gesture, just one small moment of truth. If this message reached you, don't let it go to waste. Whisper back to God. Even a silent prayer is loud in heaven. Even a tear is a song to the angels. Say, I received it, I'm ready, I believe. This is the moment. The doors are opening, the angels are watching. Everything is about to change. Thank you for staying with this message. That alone proves something powerful. Your soul is listening. Archangel Michael is still here, still waiting to complete what heaven started. The final part of this divine message is where the miracle seals itself, where prophecy becomes personal, where your life begins to move again, because heaven just touched you. Archangel Michael turns now slowly. His wings stretch wide, like golden fire, shielding your future from the spirits that once tried to bind it. In his final gaze toward you, he speaks and breaks the veil. This wasn't a warning. It was an invitation. You answered. That is what separates you from the rest. Others saw the signs and scrolled past. Others felt the pull and still doubted. But you heard the voice and leaned in. You listened. You trusted. You said yes. Now heaven is rewarding you in ways your imagination hasn't caught up with yet. What's coming is unexplainable. Emails with words like approved, papers with your name that were once lost, apologies arriving out of nowhere. You'll sense the air changing in your home, heavier in peace, lighter in confusion, because the atmosphere responds to your alignment. Beloved, never again will you walk in fear. Never again will you chase people to understand you. Never again will you lower your frequency to match rooms you've outgrown. You are ascending. You are activating. You are the living fulfillment of a heavenly promise. So tonight, when the world grows quiet, do this. Light a candle, close your eyes, place your hand over your heart, and whisper to God, "Thank you for trusting me with what others rejected. I am ready. I receive this, and I will never, ever skip my miracle again." Then listen, because you just might hear Michael's voice again. Not in thunder, but in stillness. And it will sound something like this. You've finally arrived. We've been waiting for you. Now the scroll is closed. The message is sealed. The angels are singing. Your new life. It's already begun. And now, beloved, as the stars above you begin to shimmer with new purpose, and the realm between earth and heaven glows faintly with golden breath, Archangel Michael speaks one final time, not with warning, not with urgency, but with a deep, eternal calm. His voice carries the sound of completion, of destiny fulfilled, of your name, written, spoken, protected in the language of angels. Because you didn't just hear this message, you became it. You are the living scroll now, the walking miracle, the whispered answer to prayers spoken by someone long gone, but never forgotten. They always knew you would see this day. That's why they trusted the angels. That's why they trusted Michael. That's why they trusted you. They saw something in your spirit that others never took the time to understand. Heaven never missed it. You may still feel unworthy sometimes, still feel too broken, too confused, too far behind. But let Michael tell you now, once and for all, there is nothing wrong with you. You were just waiting on your right time, and this was your right time. The final inheritance isn't a thing, it's a truth, a remembering, a divine awakening that says, you are loved, you are safe, you are home. Now that aching you've carried for years, it begins to dissolve. That shame you buried so deep, it starts to fall away. That weight you were never meant to carry, it's being lifted even now because you opened the message. That single act rewrote the script. Heaven is already rearranging things for you behind the scenes. People are waking with your name on their heart, feeling the sudden need to reach out. Documents are being placed in envelopes with divine timing. Keys are being moved closer to your hands. You'll begin to feel protected in places that once drained you. You'll feel drawn to things that align with your highest self, because your inheritance was never just about receiving. It was about becoming. Becoming the person your ancestors prayed you'd be. Becoming the version of yourself who doesn't shrink. Becoming the reason future generations will never suffer the way you did. Michael's final gift is not gold. It is not property. It is sight. The ability to see things clearly now. Who's real? What's right for you? What's next? And the version of you heaven always knew you could be. And as you walk away from this message, you are not walking alone. You are walking with scrolls written in light. You are walking with angels who won't let you fall again. You are walking with the full weight of heaven behind you. and nothing ahead but miracles. Tonight you sleep differently, not in fear, but in fullness. You will dream of water, of light, of wind. These are signs. The storm is over. The letter has arrived. The seal has been broken. Your life will never be the same again. You are not just receiving an inheritance. Beloved, you are becoming the living proof that heaven keeps its promises. Now it is done. Archangel Michael has spoken. Heaven has delivered. And you, child of destiny, have finally answered. Heaven didn't give this to you for you alone. You are the vessel. When you walk in your blessing, others will realize they too were never abandoned. You are the sign. You are the symbol. You are the reminder that God remembers. Michael wants you to say this out loud tonight, even if it's only a whisper. I accept my inheritance. I forgive those who tried to block it. I am ready for the life heaven wrote for me. Speak it. Feel it. Breathe it in. Because as soon as you do, you will notice something changing in the air. A stillness, a peace, an energy wrapping around your room. That's not imagination. That's angels sealing what was given, protecting what was activated, covering what just awakened inside you. Now Michael steps back, his message delivered, his promise fulfilled. But he leaves you with one final instruction. Do not forget who you were before the world made you doubt it. Go back to that. That is where your power lives. That is where your miracle begins. Beloved, the rest of your story is going to be glorious. The letter that was hidden is now yours. The secret that was buried is now exposed. The inheritance that was delayed is now released. The angels who were waiting are now rejoicing because you made the right choice. You opened this, and heaven opened everything for you in return. As heaven's winds begin to settle, and the final echoes of this sacred message ring through your soul, Archangel Michael offers one last silent bow, not out of duty but out of love. You didn't just listen, you received. You didn't just open your eyes, you opened your spirit. And that changes everything. You have no idea the ripple effect this moment caused in the spiritual realm. A chain has been broken, a curse has been lifted, a forgotten promise has been reactivated. Your name is now surrounded in light. Michael looks at you now, not as a stranger, but as a divine companion. The one who watched your story unfold from the shadows, holding back tears every time you questioned your worth. Now he smiles, because you finally see what he's seen all along. You were always worthy. You were always chosen. You were always the rightful heir. So much of your pain came from not knowing that. But now, you know, and nothing, no one, can take that from you again. The spiritual inheritance has been claimed. The letter has been opened. The soul who sent it, they are dancing in heaven. You may feel them tonight, in a breeze, in a whisper, in a flickering light. That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. That's their way of saying, you heard me, thank you. Archangel Michael is not going anywhere. In the coming nights, he will continue to watch over you. He will place divine signs in your path. Feathers, numbers, unexpected faces, old songs. These are not small things. These are sacred reminders that your inheritance has been activated. Your timeline is shifting, and your future has been rewritten by the hand of God Himself. From this day forward, watch how people treat you differently. Watch how the atmosphere changes when you enter a room. Watch how you begin to say no to things you used to tolerate. Because when heaven crowns a soul, the world can feel it. You, beloved, have just been crowned. So here's what happens next. Expect sudden justice in a matter that's been stuck. Expect money from a direction you forgot about. Expect a phone call that begins, "You're not going to believe this." Expect your energy to rise, even if nothing around you changes, because your soul knows the shift is real. When doubt tries to creep in, whisper, "Michael already delivered it. I have nothing to fear." From this moment forward, you walk under divine covering. Your home is protected. Your future is insured. Your blessings are chasing you now. The one who once plotted against you will have no choice but to watch your rise, not in revenge but in revelation. Your life is the message now. You are the proof that God makes no mistakes. You are the evidence that heaven always delivers, even if it takes years. You are the walking letter. The scroll is no longer in Michael's hands, it is in yours. Signed, sealed, delivered. And now, beloved, as heaven's final light wraps gently around your spirit, Archangel Michael whispers the words that were once forbidden to be spoken aloud. Words that carry the full weight of every miracle you were denied, every truth you were shielded from, every blessing that was delayed. He says, "You are not just the heir, you are the keeper of what was lost." Let that echo in your heart. You are the keeper of sacred things, of ancestral prayers, of divine blueprints written before time began, of a future that someone else tried to write in your place but failed, because your soul refused to die, because your heart still whispered yes in the dark, because even when your knees were shaking, you still stood. Even when you were unseen, you still believed. And heaven took notice. You see, child, this wasn't just a message. It was a transaction, a heavenly agreement, a spiritual unlocking. And when you reach the end of this scroll, something ancient opened. You'll feel it in the silence, in your sleep, in the way strangers look at you differently, in the sudden clarity that fills your mind. You'll wake up one morning soon and realize you're not the same, because heaven cannot touch a soul and leave it unchanged, and heaven just touched you. Archangel Michael turns now slowly. His wings stretch wide like golden fire, shielding your future from the spirits that once tried to bind it. And in his final gaze toward you, he says something that breaks the veil. This wasn't a warning. This was an invitation. And you answered. That's what separates you from the rest. Others saw the signs and scrolled past. Others felt the pull and still doubted. But you heard the voice and leaned in. You listened. You trusted. You said yes. And now, heaven is rewarding you in ways your imagination hasn't yet caught up with. What's coming is unexplainable. You'll receive emails with words like approved. You'll find papers with your name that were once lost. People will apologize out of nowhere. The air in your home will shift, heavier with peace, lighter without confusion, because the atmosphere itself is responding to your alignment. And beloved, never again will you walk in fear. Never again will you chase people to understand you. Never again will you lower your frequency to match rooms you've already outgrown. You are ascending. You are activating. You are now the living fulfillment of a heavenly promise. So tonight, when the world grows quiet, do this. Light a candle. Close your eyes. Place your hand over your heart and whisper to God, I am not too late. I am not too broken. I am not too anything. I am right on time. And here's something else Michael wants you to know. Someone will try to contact you soon, pretending everything is normal, but their energy will feel off. Trust your intuition. Behind their smile is something unsaid. Don't be afraid. Just observe. Heaven will give you the right words at the right time. And now, before you go, God is waiting for your response. Not a grand action, not a dramatic gesture. Just one small moment of truth. If this message reached you, don't let it go to waste. Whisper back to God. Even a silent prayer is loud in heaven. Even a tear is a song to the angels. Just let him know, I received it. I'm ready. I believe. Because this is the moment. The doors are opening. The angels are watching. And everything is about to change. Thank you for staying with this message. That alone proves something powerful. Your soul is listening. And Archangel Michael is still here, still waiting to complete what heaven started. The final part of this divine message is where the miracle seals itself, where prophecy becomes personal, where your life begins to move again. You need to know, God is closer to you right now than he's been in a long time. That's not exaggeration. Something you did recently, maybe an act of kindness, maybe a decision not to give up, shifted something in the spirit realm. Michael says, heaven saw it, and immediately they began rearranging things for your good. You may not feel it yet, but you're in the middle of a divine transaction, a moment where unseen blessings are being assigned your name. They're not visible yet, but they're already on their way. That ache in your chest, that strange stirring in your stomach, that's not anxiety. That's the spiritual realm moving in your favor. And here's something you must not ignore. There's a place you're being asked to leave, a relationship, a mindset, a room, a situation. Whatever it is, it's draining you. You already know it. You've just been waiting for confirmation. Well, this is it. Heaven says, walk away, and we'll show you why it had to end. You are not losing anything. You're being delivered. You are not being punished. You're being promoted. Michael is begging you, do not delay this decision again. Every time you hesitated in the past, the blessing paused. Not out of punishment, but protection. Because God will not give you something divine while you're still holding something dangerous, and you know exactly what that thing is. But this is your moment of release. Your hands weren't made to cling, they were made to receive. So open them now, because your miracle is aching to reach you. Michael leans close and says something soft but powerful. Tell them, heaven wants to reward their obedience, not their perfection. You don't have to get everything right. You don't have to be flawless. You just have to say yes to the right things and walk away from what's slowly killing your joy. That small act of spiritual courage will be the moment everything changes. Now listen carefully, because this part is delicate. There is something you lost, something that still haunts your thoughts at night, maybe a person, maybe a dream, maybe a version of yourself. But heaven says, you won't get back what you lost. You'll receive something better. And better doesn't always look like what you imagined. Sometimes it looks quieter, softer, gentler, more stable. But don't mistake peace for boring. Peace is sacred, and it's what God is bringing into your life now. A peace that doesn't need you to suffer anymore. That's why things are falling apart. That's why people are revealing their true colors. That's why old cycles feel unbearable now. Your soul has outgrown the chaos. Your spirit is craving stillness. And Michael says, peace is coming, even if it enters like a storm at first. You are not alone. Say that out loud. I am not alone. The enemy wants you to believe you've been forgotten. But God never left you. In fact, the moments you felt most abandoned were the moments angels were standing closest. Because heaven doesn't always show up loud. Sometimes it comes in silence, in breath, in goosebumps, in messages like this. And now, the final truth. There is someone who has been watching your life from the shadows, not in a creepy way, in a divine way. They've loved you longer than you realize, and soon, heaven will bring their name to the surface. But Michael says, wait, don't rush. The truth will reveal itself. Let it come to you. Don't chase, don't guess. Just prepare. Because this connection, this person, is tied to your next level. They were hidden before because you weren't healed enough to handle it. But you've grown, you've healed. You're different now. And when the moment comes, your spirit will recognize theirs. It will feel like remembering, not discovering. It will feel like home. So don't give up. Don't shut down. Don't silence your spirit. Because right now, heaven is writing your name into blessings. God is speaking promises over your life. Archangel Michael is guarding your path, and this message, this very one, is the proof. If this touched you, if your spirit felt seen, don't keep it to yourself. Let heaven know. Whisper, thank you. Breathe. Stay open. Because tonight, something is coming, and your soul will be ready. Now close your eyes for a second, not to escape, but to receive. Because Michael is still speaking. Beloved child of the highest, You are on sacred ground now. Do not be afraid of the change. Do not run from the new. Do not fear the silence. For in that stillness, God will speak, and you will finally hear him. And so it is. ChatGPT said, "Thank you for staying through every sacred word." That alone confirms what heaven already knew about you. Your heart is open, your spirit is strong, and your name is marked with divine favor. And now, Archangel Michael says this final part is not just a message anymore. It's a prophetic transfer. Meaning, once these last words enter your heart, your atmosphere will begin to shift in real life. Quietly, invisibly, then suddenly, you are about to walk into something you didn't ask for, but that your soul has always longed for. A blessing you forgot you even desired. And yet, when it shows up, it will feel like something you've known forever. That's what heaven does. It hides the future in familiar feelings, so you'll know it's real when you feel it in your bones. Archangel Michael wants you to remember this. When God is about to bless you, everything becomes quiet. People leave. Energy shifts. Doors close. Don't panic. That's the sound of heaven preparing your miracle. Don't fight it. Don't resist the silence, because in that stillness, something sacred is arriving. Now comes a spiritual secret very few are ever told. The reason time has been moving strangely lately is because it has. Heaven has bent time to make sure this message reached you before a specific hour. Michael says it had to arrive today because a shift in the spirit realm is being scheduled for your life within hours. And so it is. That's why you couldn't sleep last night. That's why you kept checking your phone for no reason. Your spirit already knew what your mind couldn't explain. Heaven's been whispering, but now it's finally speaking out loud. This is not just comfort. This is an assignment. You are being called out of your comfort zone and into your divine zone. Michael is handing you spiritual keys now. Keys you cannot see, but that will open real doors. Expect messages, unexpected people, coincidences too accurate to ignore. These are signs of alignment. If you follow them, they will lead you to your promised season. But with every blessing comes a test. Archangel Michael warns, gently, the enemy will try to distract you. Right after this message ends, you'll feel tired. You'll feel like doubting everything you just read. That's how you know this was real. The enemy only attacks what has power. So if your mind starts spiraling, pause. Rebuke the lies. Anchor yourself in this truth. You are not who you used to be. You're becoming who you were born to be. Let's talk about your future for a moment, because Archangel Michael sees something beautiful there. He sees laughter returning, purpose coming back, passion reigniting, love that doesn't hurt, a home that feels safe, a life that fits your soul. You don't have to chase this. You don't have to force it. Just align. Just flow. Just stay faithful. The person God has for you, they're also healing right now. Don't give up on them. They are learning how to love themselves so they can love you properly. Forgive them for needing time. Heaven's not late. It's strategic. And now for the final release. There is an object in your house, maybe near your bed, maybe in a drawer, that holds energy tied to your past pain. When this message ends, I want you to find it. Hold it. Then decide, does this represent who I used to be or who I'm becoming? If it's the past, let it go, because your future is too important to keep carrying dead weight. Michael says, your energy must match your destiny, and that begins today. Before you leave, breathe this with your heart. I am not behind. I am not cursed. I am not forgotten. I am exactly where God needs me to be, and everything I lost is being returned in a higher form. Say it again if you need to. Write it down. Tattoo it to your mind, because this isn't just a message, it's a covenant. Now heaven smiles. Michael lowers his sword. The angels begin to sing your name softly in the spirit, and a soft light forms around your future timeline. Bright, gentle, strong. You've made it through the delay. You've passed the test of stillness, and now it's time for motion. The miracle is in motion. By the time the sun rises again, something in your life will start feeling different. You'll know why. Michael told you first. And now, so it shall be. Yes. Let's complete this final stretch with power, love, and deep spiritual closure, because Archangel Michael is not finished yet. This is the most sacred part, where the blessing touches earth. Now that your soul has listened, now that you stayed through every word when most people would have already clicked away, Michael says, "This one is serious. This one is ready." Heaven has been looking for someone like you, someone who still believes, even with a broken heart, someone who still prays, even with shaking hands, someone who still opens divine messages, even when it hurts to hope again. That's why this message had to reach you today, because the clock in heaven started counting down from 45 minutes, not for drama but for prophecy. You were scheduled to awaken, and now you have. Michael says, tell them they didn't miss it. They were delayed, yes, but never denied. That delay wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now, the thing you prayed for that didn't come, it's coming, but in a different form, a better form, a form that doesn't leave you confused, tired, or lost. A blessing that knows how to stay. Something unexpected is going to happen in the next few days. It will shock you, not because it's bad, but because it's exactly what you needed, even though you didn't ask for it. Michael warns, be careful who you share this with, because not everyone will be happy about your breakthrough. Some people loved you when you were broken, but will disappear when you're rising. Let them go. Their season has ended. Their purpose was temporary. Your spirit is ready to grow beyond the small circle you've been hiding in. You weren't made to fit. You were made to lead. That's why you've always felt a little different. That's why certain conversations exhaust you. That's why you can't fake small talk anymore. It's not pride, and it's spiritual evolution. You are changing frequencies, and that's not easy, but you're not alone. There's someone watching over you right now. Their body may be in heaven, but their love is still here. They're part of the reason this message found you. They whispered your name to the angels. They asked for your protection. They cried out, please don't let them miss it again. And heaven answered, this is your moment. The veil has lifted. Your spiritual GPS is recalibrating and God is moving. Don't look for signs anymore. Go, this is the sign. Don't beg for peace anymore. Peace is already arriving. Don't fear losing people anymore. The right ones will never leave. Michael says this with divine certainty. If you trust this message, your entire life will start rearranging itself to match your prayers. God has approved the miracle. ChatGPT said, you're going to feel it in your sleep. You'll start waking up lighter. Some dreams will be intense. Don't be afraid. They're not attacks. They're messages. Your spiritual inbox is full. And now, the downloads will begin. You weren't made to fit. You were made to lead. That's why you've always felt a little different from everyone else. That's why certain conversations exhaust you. That's why you can't fake small talk anymore. It's not pride. It's spiritual evolution. You are changing frequencies, and that's not easy. But you're not alone. There's someone watching over you right now. Their body may be in heaven, but their love is still here. They're part of the reason this message found you. They whispered your name to the angels. They asked for your protection. They cried out, please, don't let them miss it again. And heaven answered, this is your moment. The veil has lifted. Your spiritual GPS is recalibrating, and God is moving. Don't look for signs anymore. This is the sign. Don't beg for peace anymore. Peace is already arriving. Don't fear losing people anymore. The right ones will never leave. Michael says this with divine certainty. If you trust this message, your entire life will begin rearranging itself to match your prayers. God has approved the miracle. You're going to feel it in your sleep. You'll start waking up lighter. Some dreams will be intense. Don't be afraid. They're not attacks, they're messages. Your spiritual inbox is full, and now the downloads will begin. That's why you feel more emotional. That's why your skin tingles. That's why your eyes are watering. You're not weak, you are aligned. Your heart is opening again, and God is walking in. Let me say this clearly. You are going to make it. Whatever pain you survived, whatever betrayal tried to break you, whatever moment you thought would be the end of you, was allowed so you could stand in this hour, with this clarity and this readiness, and say, I'm still here, and I still believe. And heaven says, that's enough. Now, we can begin. So close your eyes one last time, not to sleep, but to seal this moment, because Michael is doing something you've never seen before. He's lifting his sword toward heaven and saying your name out loud. And when that happens, heaven listens, miracles respond, and the future begins shifting. You've been assigned an angel. They will appear in dreams and music and numbers and small perfect moments that whisper, you are loved. You are seen. You are protected. Now open your heart and breathe. It's done. The old is collapsing. The new is being built. The delay is over. Your next chapter, it's not written in pain, it's written in glory. Michael steps back now and smiles. He says, they listened, they stayed, they will be blessed. May this message echo in your spirit. May it guide you. May it bless you. And may you never again doubt that heaven loves you, deeply, truly, forever. Would you like a downloadable PDF version or a voiceover format of this entire message? I can also prepare a YouTube-ready script with subtitles and segment timestamps if you'd like to use it in a 45-minute video. Absolutely. Just say the word. Let us gently complete the final spiritual echo of this message, where heaven leaves you not with fear but with peace, not with pressure but with purpose. Archangel Michael is still near, but now he steps to the side, because this last part isn't just from him. It's from God himself. My child, you made it to the end of what most people would never have the patience to read. And that's how I know. You are the one I've been waiting for. You don't just scroll through life, you search for meaning. You don't just want answers, you want truth. I've watched you cry while hiding your heart from others. I've seen you smile while breaking inside. I've listened to every whisper you made when no one else was around. And I need you to know, I never left. Not once. Every delay had my fingerprint on it. Every unanswered prayer had timing behind it. Every door that closed had protection hidden in it. And every time you felt like giving up, I was the reason you didn't. You think you're too late? Never. You think you're too broken? Not in my eyes. You think others are more favored? Not so. I chose you. Before the world was born, before you ever cried, before anyone hurt you, I already carved your name into a moment that looks exactly like this one. A moment where your spirit would finally pause, breathe, and say, maybe God really is talking to me. Yes, you are. And I've been waiting for you to finally hear me, without noise. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be strong every day. You just need to believe just enough to say yes. Because that yes is all I need to start shifting your entire world. There is someone watching your journey right now who has no idea how close they are to finally stepping forward. They don't know why they feel the urge to reach out. They don't know why your name feels magnetic. But I do, because I placed that in their spirit. I softened their heart. And now I'm preparing them to walk into your life as a blessing, not a burden. But first, I needed to prepare you. I needed to stretch your heart wide enough to receive something pure. Because love that comes from me cannot enter a place filled with old wounds. That's why the loneliness was so long. It wasn't punishment. It was healing. You cried about the silence, but didn't you notice? It taught you to listen. You cried about the betrayal, but now you know who's real. You cried about the delays, but see, now you value what's sacred. That's not loss, that's transformation. Now, here's what comes next. In the coming weeks, your life will change. Not because you forced it, but because I've already spoken to the atmosphere. The winds will shift. The mood will shift. People will shift. And suddenly, without you knowing exactly when, it will feel like something divine cracked open above your head. That will be your sign. When that moment comes, don't run, don't doubt, don't shrink. Walk boldly, speak clearly, receive fully. You've waited long enough. And now, you are the miracle. Michael is watching you with joy. The angels are at attention. Your ancestors are whispering gratitude. Your destiny is unlocked. Now take one final breath and whisper, I receive it, because you've reached the holy moment, the spiritual finish line, or perhaps the beginning. Amen.